Boom it already. Hello, everybody. Welcome, everybody. If you've come over from Baker, good to see you. And I'm starting really quickly because I know that some people will be coming straight over from Baker's stream. I'm just waiting for Dali to turn up. And we're going to get into some Becky stuff. And the reason, hello, hey, Sea Swept, good to see you. Good to see you. Legit, I woke up this morning and it was still dark, and I was just like, what's going on? Why is everybody looking at the screen full of circles? I didn't realize it was a Zoom call. Yes, Fed, this is very live. And I decided to just like jump over here, go live straight away because, hello, Josie. Yes, go live straight away and make sure I was here for all of you. And Josie, did I get the documents? Look, Sal got the documents immediately. Like he got the documents and he was reading the documents whilst everyone else was chatting over on Baker Street. Could you see his face? He was just like enraptured in the documents. He got the documents from his friend Rebecca at the courthouse in Wisconsin. Hey, Payjam. Hey, Payjam. Oh, I'm Red. How's it going? What does Zoom without a gunshot and a lost baby? Mama. And he had the gunshot. Like me in my half asleep state, I was like, what is going on? Like, is it a game show? Is it actually a gun? I don't know. I'm Australian. I've got no idea. Like, gunshot? I don't know. What's this? Fed. He had caught a batch of documentitis.
Oh, hey, I didn't know you were already live. Sorry.
Of course I'm live.
Well, yeah,
Of course I'm
I
live.
didn't know
I
you were
have to
live.
be here. I have to be here for the people.
I
Oh, look at this.
know, I know.
There's the light again. See? There's my morning
Beautiful.
sunlight. Check it. Check it, my morning
Beautiful.
sunlight.
So glorious.
Yeah. Mama. Yeah.
Yes.
That was so funny. I was just like, what is
Oh,
going
yes.
on? Okay. Can you? Okay.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like you're looking at a woman's ass, but you're not.
No, I look
Like-
at the Diamondbacks game.
Oh, I thought you were looking at the documents again.
No. But, well, I did a little bit, but.
It's very difficult to tell
It's like
with you.
It's like a new Harry Potter book came out. I'm that hooked on it.
Yeah, you are. Hey,
It's like
Kim.
George R.R. Martin finally releases The Winds of Winter.
Right. So let's talk about why we're here. Because
And not pains for once.
Yeah, well, not quite. Hey, Josie. Yeah, he's so happy. All right. So the reason why we're here, because I was going to do this the other day, but I had to go out and all sorts of things. And is Wesley here? Because Wesley was like, emergency, EU live. The reason I wanted to do this was because all the Becky things just keep happening, right? I'm a little bit obsessed with Becky.
I know, she's adorable.
You think?
No.
I don't think she's adorable. I think she's like the biddy from hell.
Yeah.
Right. I'm hello, Mads. Yeah. Sal much better because it's like you are the first person to read the new book. Well, it is. He is the first person to read the new book. Yes. The Jensen book. No one's ever read it really. And
Court TV, I think, has it, but that's it.
Well, Court TV don't seem interested in it. No one's interested in it except us.
So
and Sal's the first one to bring it to us. It's so cool. Anyway, back to Becky. So Becky reminds me of every old biddy I've ever met who just wants to gossip about everything that's not her business and spread it around and just be a complete pain in the old butt. Right? So I don't really like Becky very much.
Yeah.
And also on top of Becky, there's all the wine mums, as you guys like to call them, like, because I call them mums. You guys call them moms. I call them mums.
Moms.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
all the wine moms who are out there in the Twitterverse, etc., who are going, well, you know what? I don't believe a word that Murdaugh's attorneys say, and I'm just going to give Becky the benefit of the doubt.
And because she's innocent until proven guilty, so we need to
She's
just...
innocent till proven guilty. Well, you
And-
know what I say to them? And this is me getting up on my high horse now, because they're up on their high horse. I'm going to get up on my high horse now and say, well, you know what? You didn't give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Did you? Right? You were very happy to let all of that financial crimes garbage in, which had nothing to do with the murder whatsoever. Right? So you were very happy to let all of that stuff in and listen to all of that stuff and go, isn't he a terrible person? Right? For weeks and weeks and weeks. And you were all very happy to listen to all of that absolute malarkey in for a very long time. And now here we have this woman who has clearly, in my opinion, and I'm allowed to have an opinion, in my opinion, clearly gone against her oath or her responsibility. It is an oath, really.
No, it is. She's a public
oath.
figure. They take an oath to...
to respect the court and respect the laws of the land.
Yeah.
And
Constitution.
And the Constitution, yes. And if this is correct, she has committed, is it a federal offense? It's a felony, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure it's a felony because she's an elected official. The misdemeanor, it's a misdemeanor if you just like tamper with a jury, kind of. But because she's an elected official, I'm sure it's a felony. It may even be covered under some federal ones. But
yes, so this is not nothing, right?
No.
And this is not just her going about her day and accidentally doing something that, oh, you know, she's such a lovely lady and she didn't mean to, and all these kinds of things. No, she is just as culpable as anybody else, right? And all these people who are just like, oh, these evil people on Murdaugh's side are just using this as an excuse, and they're just going after her, and I don't believe a word they say, and I'm just going to wait for all the evidence to come out, and I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. No, you did not give him the benefit of the doubt. Everyone deserves the benefit of the doubt. That's called reasonable doubt, and we should be giving everybody reasonable doubt. Everybody. Everyone is innocent until absolutely everything comes out. Everybody. Right? And as far as I'm concerned, she is absolutely innocent until everything comes out. Right? So I want to hear it all too. I want to hear it all too. I don't know what she did. I don't know what she did. But I don't like the sounds of it.
No.
I don't like the sounds of it at all. Right? So, and there are sworn affidavits. This is real.
Yeah.
This is not nothing. This is real. So I don't like the sound of it. And there's a reason why I think this is going to be prosecuted. It should be prosecuted. And if there's any, if it comes out that it is prosecuted, and there is a finding that she's done these things, then of course there's a retrial. Of course there's a retrial. Of course. And this is not just a storm in a teacup. How silly. Teacup is actually quite a good analogy for this, because this is a bunch of tea, isn't it? So anyway, that's my little rant. And the reason I got my channel is so I can have my little rant. And we this morning, on my morning, because it's my morning, definitely, see that? Yeah. We this morning are going to, let's see, I'm just going to bring up a couple of little things here. I take an oath in front of the Almighty Judge Murdaugh. Yeah. We this morning are going to have a look at, now, her esteemed co-author.
Yeah.
And I don't think he would really face any he's got any problems, does he? Really? Because he's just a co-author. He
The
wasn't the one
co-author,
who did
no.
anything. No.
No,
And this
no.
is his chance to make some bank right now.
I know, he's
Right?
in a great place.
Well, only for a little while.
Well, yeah.
Oh, it could be federal, denying civil rights, something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot of, we have so many laws that just like, you can't be distracted while driving. Well, we're going to also make it illegal to text while driving. Well, it's already covered under distracted driving. Why are we making more laws? It's just, but I mean, the point is like, it's impossible to do anything and not break a law. So it would take it's going to take a lot to go through the different, whatever it's called, statutes. But I'm sure there's a whole lot there that if they want to go hard on her, could. Well, SLED is going to, but that is such a conflict of interest.
The whole SLED thing.
No, but Eric Bland representing some of the jurors.
Eric Bland
for free.
I don't really understand Eric.
No.
I've never really heard of Eric Bland until now, to be honest with you. Can you explain who Eric Bland is?
I believe he represented the family of the girl who was unalived in the boating accident.
Right.
So he's got this whole hard-on against the Murdaugh family. Yes, there is. That is only a misdemeanor from what I know. It's punishable by like $500 fine, I think.
Online Red would know. Is that true? Online Red? That's just a misdemeanor? That doesn't sound right. Jury tampering,
there's a lot of, but that doesn't come into like elected officials. So there could be something more there.
Okay. It'd be higher. It'd be a higher penalty for elected officials. Yeah. That would make sense. Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyway, reason we are here, apart from me wanting to have a big rant, is the co-author has talked again. So he has gotten on to what's this? Surviving the Survivor. So he's gotten onto STS and had a big old chat with Surviving the Survivor podcast or whatever it is. And so I thought we might have a bit of a look at that and see what he has to say and have a bit of a react to that. So how about we have a bit of a watch? And yeah, I wish Wesley was here because Wesley wanted to see this. I'm sure he'll turn up. Has somebody popped this into Discord, by the way?
The link?
I wonder if they have.
Or do you need me to present it, or you?
It'd be cool if you would.
Thank you, Murphs. Yes. Okay. So it was the maid who fell and the son.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you would actually, Sal.
Okay. Let me find it.
Because I'm such a noob.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with my other monitors. So.
Oh, are you? I can.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's okay. I can do it. I'm just. Come on. God damn it. Okay. Let me do this.
Fun and games.
Are you able to do it?
Sure.
Okay, it'll be easier if you do because I only have half a monitor now.
So it might be if I go full screen on my other screen. Hang on a minute. There we go. And la. Pause. And then I go present. Just a moment, everybody, while I'm bimbering. Would you mind bringing Outline Red's thing up, please? That's interesting.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Oh. Cool. And I want to...
I can do it now if you want.
No, I've got it.
Okay.
That's cool. There it is. That's me, right? That I'm putting up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. And if I unmute it... And then I start it.
Yep. Just play it like normal. No, that's not working. Okay, send me the link in private chat and I'll play it. We will need to work with your presenting audio settings.
Oh. See, I'm such a boomer.
No. It was really confusing at first for me.
Okay, cool. See, this is why we're co-hosts. Co-hosts.
Oh, and we'll also need to get you the audio plugin too. But yeah, just put it in the private chat.
I have it, but for some reason it's not working. Okay, stopping screen. Oh dear, I'll work this out one day. No, I'll work it out one day. I will. All right. Never mind. Everyone's being very, very patient with me.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Oh, bite me, Lefty.
Yeah, Lefty, bite me. I don't even know what he said, but
Go
bite
Cubs.
Me. There you go. It's in private chat.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Josie.
Present.
Hey, Leslie.
At 9 a.m. that they were starting that day's.
Whoops. What?
What?
No, it wasn't playing through my freaking headphones. Damn it.
Oh, see, now you can't do it.
No, I can do it. I just have to change my audio settings.
Okay.
Sorry.
You teach me after this. After we're done here.
All right.
And we finish the stream. You show me. I need to be able to do this.
Yeah, Mac's a little different, but you should be able to.
Of course I'll be able to. Max can do anything. Wesley, you got summoned.
Right now, he's probably better known for being the co-author of Becky Hill on her book, Behind the Doors of Justice, the Murdaugh Murder.
What did he just
on her book, known for...
What was he known for before?
Yeah.
What's up, SDS Nation, and welcome to another episode of Surviving the Survivor, where true crime news always breaks, and we have an unexpected guest today, a very interesting one who's going to join us for about the first 15 or 20 minutes of this episode.
So true, Fred. See, look at that. Fred likes Vegemite. Yeah.
And we're going to be joined by a group of very experienced South Carolina attorneys to discuss this even further.
How's it going?
Of course, we know by now that convicted killer and disgraced lawyer Alec Murdaugh, he wants a new trial over the murders of his wife, Maggie, and younger son, Paul. They filed court papers at the South Carolina Court of Appeals that accuse the clerk of court in Colton County, South Carolina, of tampering with a jury who found him guilty. The question must be asked, will the Alec Murdaugh saga ever end in South Carolina, or will it go on in perpetuity? Well, we got a last-minute guest here today, kind of twirling things around here, and he is the publisher of Augusta Business Daily, a well-regarded newspaper. However, right now, he's probably better known for being the co-author of Becky Hill on her book, Behind the Doors of Justice, the Murdaugh Murders. He co-authored that book. They self-published it. We welcome to the show Neil Gordon. Neil, how you doing, number one? And number two, how's the media spotlight all of a sudden?
Well, very interesting.
Yeah.
Like you, I've had a long career in the media and broadcasting, and I've worked in small town markets like Elmira, New York, and here in Augusta, Georgia, and Spokane, Washington.
Just, the media spotlight.
And I never dreamt that I would be on Good Morning America, CNN, Fox News.
I never thought this would happen.
Pretty much every major
at least he's humble
broadcast outlet discussing this. And I
can you pause this for a sec?
Yeah. I'm here to fill in the gaps for.
Okay, so this is interesting. So he never thought that he would be on all of these big, like, mainstream channels, right? Now, I wonder whether or not he would have ended up on all of those big mainstream channels if it weren't for these affidavits.
True.
Right? It would have been Becky Hill. In fact, Becky Hill, did she even get invited to any of those
Yes.
channels? No. Did
No,
she?
She went with the jurors for an interview afterwards to
Yeah, okay.
New York.
Right. She did with the jurors. Right. Okay. So she was the face of the book.
Yeah.
Right. She was the face of the book. Now, it's not until these allegations have come out that he's showing his face, right?
He's the co-author, but yeah, I mean, this is and I guess legally he can talk and it doesn't really affect her.
Yeah, but that's why he's showing his face now.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that she kind of can't.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So he's talking because he's done nothing wrong, right? And I'm not saying that she's definitely done anything wrong. It's allegedly. Yeah. However, right? So yeah, that's why he's the face of the book now, right?
Yeah.
And so no, he never dreamt that he would be on these big stations.
Yeah.
But this is all because she's been accused of jury tampering.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Right? That now he's got all this fame.
Yeah.
Isn't that curious? Right? Oh, well, it could be his ticket.
Yeah.
To a better career, actually. Curious. Okay, isn't that? Go figure. All right, keep going.
Becky, who would love to be here and talk about her situation, but while she's the midst
only after the trial ended, that's right.
This investigation and these allegations, she's hired a pair of attorneys.
That's
and they're going through all of the allegations and the affidavits, and they're going to be responding one by one. But once the motion's filed and she has responded, she absolutely would love to tell her side of the story.
And there is Rebecca Hill. Sorry, I didn't mean to remove you, but there is the clerk of the court, Rebecca Hill, and there is Neil Gordon back up. But that is Rebecca Hill. Let me ask you, how is Rebecca Hill doing? I assume you've been speaking with her. What is her state of mind right now? There's the book, by the way, Behind the Doors of Justice. We'll get to that in a moment. But what is her state of mind? Does she feel sort of besieged at this point by the defense team?
Yeah, I mean, I think she initially was very overwhelmed, and possibly just a little bit angry, and now she's driven to kind of work through everything. And it's been very, very difficult because you have to understand she not only, managed the courtroom and all that is entailed, which is a lot, for 12, 14, 16 hours a day during the 6 weeks, but she had to do a 3 or 4 month build up where there was just so much to do. You got to plan for security measures. If you think about other things that have happened at churches in South Carolina with someone coming in and murdering parishioners, and you think about other past trials,
you do have security. Yeah, I think there was a church that was shot up, but there's metal detectors. You have to go through security to get into the courthouse.
Right.
Like when I went in, I had to remove everything from my pockets, take off my belt, which was awkward, and then walk through a metal detector. And it went through X-ray. So you're not. Security isn't. I don't see it being a huge deal.
By the way, nice hat, Beck.
Oh, I know. Yeah, nice fedora.
Pretty. I bet all her little friends are very jealous.
And media and anything you can think of. And it's been really just, she hasn't been able to take a breath since probably last September. It's been on. So this is just one more step and she's
Becky.
She's the most dedicated, genuine, patient, and tough-minded lady that I know.
She's just lovely.
And, I'm looking forward to all of the responses, and
she has a felonious glow.
Be resolved.
And tell
she's
me,
such a sweetheart.
She did, as you mentioned, she had a hire counsel. Is she doing that to protect herself from this defense team, from possible libel? I assume she feels that she has done nothing wrong. I don't know if you have
sure she feels she's done nothing wrong.
I really wish I had like some sad violin music we could play right now.
Yeah, in fact, can we get some?
I have some. I just don't know where it is. It's on my phone.
We need some for the Jensen stream,
sure.
actually.
So,
yes.
Yeah. You know, she did, what I could tell you is what she said to Court TV. You know, she's gotten about 50 different calls from media outlets, and she was advised not to speak, but she made one little
good
statement,
advice.
and so I can, it's on the record, so I can say that. She says, it's not true, and I will put out a statement at the right time. But yes, she has hired
still advise against that
to deal with federal situations.
But advise her to be quiet.
Tampering is apparently can work into the federal realm, and also someone to help at the state level with the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division somehow involved in this. So it's specifically nothing to do with libel, but it's specifically related to the 65-page document that was filed for the appeal.
Really, Wesley?
And she, you know, it's scheduled to.
Dude, you've had that super chat up for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm bad at it sometimes.
What's it say? I'm confused that a clerk would write about the trial even. Yeah, no, yeah, right. It's interesting they had that chat up.
I know.
While this dude's on.
He forgets
Isn't
to
that
take
curious? Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's a really good point, actually.
He's in the private chat. Can you please remove that super chat?
Yeah, what's the super chat? Hey, by the way, what's the super chat? I know it's a super chat.
You have my stapler.
I
believe you have my stapler. Could I have my stapler back? I believe you have my stapler. My stapler.
The guest is offended by the super chat. Remove the super chat.
To a response by the Attorney General is scheduled for, I believe, either next Friday the 15th or Monday the 18th. There is a possibility that will be a.
Dude, this guy's on his phone more than I am. He's not even listening to the stream. He's worse than I am. He's not.
Yeah.
He's a professional.
It's like you with your phone.
I know.
It's like you, like
5,000
fingering your phone. At least, like, you look up every now and again.
I know. God.
Yeah, right.
At least I clear the super chats.
Yeah. It's like,
there's
like you pretend to look interested
sometimes. A lot of allegations, but that's kind of the timeline. And
is it just me or his glasses really weird? On the left.
Look, I don't want this dude sending in like complaints about us restreaming him and making fun of his glasses.
So, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Your glasses are very manly. They're
sexy. Very nice.
Yeah, they complement your face.
Yeah, he's a very handsome man.
Yeah.
So that's what I know up to the minute.
And Neil, again, Neil is joining us. He is the publisher of Augusta Business Daily. He's also the co-author of Behind the Doors of Justice, the Murdaugh Murders, with Becky Hill.
That's funny. I mean, sometimes you overlook it and don't realize it's up. So, and then you just get into the show or to get distracted.
I haven't yet.
Yeah.
But
Bill is obviously a very controversial figure at the moment. Obviously, her nemesis right now is Dick Harpootlian, the defense attorney, and Jim Griffin, who went after her very hard. Do you have any opinion one way or the other? Are there ulterior motives in your opinion from the defense team? Do they make a valid argument, do you think, or not at all?
Are there ulterior motives then to get their client a new trial? No. They're trying to get their client a new trial by any way necessary.
That's not an ulterior motive.
That's the motive.
That's a motive. That's their job. God. And it's called like the process. Like this is.
You have ethical obligations to do that.
I hate it when people try and say like that when the wheels of justice have not turned correctly. Like when, say for example, with this whole thing with Koberger and the fruit of the poisonous tree.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing with getting the DNA from a source that is not credible, and like the whole 23andMe thing, Ancestry.com, getting that DNA information from sources where people have submitted their DNA and potentially those websites, the terms and conditions of those websites do not stipulate that the people who put their DNA forth have submitted for their DNA to be used for law enforcement uses, then that is not okay, right? And so people out there are saying things like, oh, but it doesn't matter if they got the right guy. Yeah. That's not all right, right? So there's a reason why there is rules for collecting evidence.
We don't even know if it is the right guy because the DNA could have been planted.
Well, I mean, okay, but what people are saying though is, that if it turns out to be the right guy, then who cares how they got that evidence?
But there's no way to ever know.
But then if you go and use that same rule and you say, okay, well, if it's the right guy, that's fine. Then what if you use that same rule and say, what if you just deprive someone of their liberty for 3 days until they confess to something?
Yeah.
That's the same rule, right? So if you don't apply the rules to how to collect evidence, then that's the same thing. So if you say someone can't smoke, for example, right, for 6 hours until they come up with a verdict.
Yeah.
So you're denying somebody. It's the same as denying someone food, really.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're saying, okay, smokers, you can't smoke for 6 hours, and
I'd say it's even worse because most people can go 6 hours without eating. I mean, if they just come back from lunch or whatever.
Correct. Or you can't go to the toilet, for example.
Yeah.
Right. It's very similar. I used to be a smoker like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember what it was like.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember what it was like to not be able to smoke. And that's part of the reason why I gave up, part of the fact I was pregnant. But part of the reason why I gave up was I didn't want to need to smoke.
Yeah.
Right. The fact that you had to need to smoke was very frustrating. Yeah. Right. So I get it with these jurors. Like if that was the case, if they were deprived of having their smoke breaks until they had to come up with a verdict, you'd want to get the hell out of there. That's actually torture is a really big word to use, but
coercive.
It's not that far off.
No, I mean it's similar.
If you know you can't smoke, I don't feel as bad. Like when you're out flying, kind of. If you're aware of the fact, it's kind of like if you
But you can like bring nicotine gum or patches.
Yeah, if you could bring something with you. From what it sounded like, it was like you got put in there, and then they've
been smoking all along, and then just told you can no longer smoke till you're done. And they didn't even
the right guy. You should need to play funny with the evidence. Absolutely, Eris. This whole thing. This is not a Koberger stream. I'll do one later. Keep going.
I'm not really sure. It's hard to sort of look into what their thoughts are about it. I mean, they're certainly entitled to represent Alex, and if they believe,
are they?
That
you don't say
he potentially is innocent or was innocent. I mean, that's the That's the judicial system. A couple of things, though, did strike.
No. Even if he did it, he is still entitled to representation. They don't represent him because they think he's innocent.
No.
Or maybe they do, but regardless,
maybe doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does not matter.
Doesn't matter.
You don't. People who you think are guilty still get lawyers.
Absolutely. Jeffrey Dahmer got lawyers.
Yeah, a lot. From what I recall. And he should, because it was a high-profile case, high-profile prosecution.
Yeah.
He deserves.
If you can't represent the worst offenders, then what happens to the people who are innocent?
Yeah.
Like, this boggles my mind.
Yeah.
Blah.
Me when he did the press conference on Tuesday that I really take exception with. The main thing was he made a statement that
Super Chat is still up.
Becky Hill allegedly tampered with the jury so that she could get a book deal, make a lot of money, fame, fortune, and adoration, all of that. And when I heard that, I thought to myself, well, where's my $200,000 check from Simon and Schuster? I mean, there's no book deal. We spent money for the opportunity to chronicle the trial of the century, almost a memoir, Becky's inner thoughts, as I mentioned, just went from sun up to sundown for 6 months, and we just kind of chronicled that. And so that's patently false. Right. We didn't even meet, Becky and I
get it,
till 20 days after the trial. And by the time we ended up getting, we had to go through the ethics commission to get some guidelines to write the book. And by the time all of that got settled, we didn't even
she could have written it even if he was Spanish.
Forming an agreement or writing until, well into April. So I don't get that. And then the other thing that.
Could you pause it for a second, please? Thank you. All right. So this whole thing about them not getting a book deal and him having to put, or both of them having to put their own money into it, just does not fly with me.
No.
They knew they were going to make money. Of course they knew they were going to make money. This whole thing about it not necessarily making the money is just a load of BS.
She was there with the jury. Of course, people are going to want to hear her side. And they probably make more money by self-publishing.
Of course. Yeah, in fact, that's absolutely true. There would not be a bunch of royalties to pay. I don't know if that's the right word, royalties. But
they take a pretty big cut.
Yeah, exactly. Self-publishing is the way to go.
Yeah. I mean, you have to spend more money, but
garbage. Absolute garbage. And what's this man's name? The interviewer. He's just like, what's he doing?
I don't know. Oh God, what is he doing? Is he touching himself?
No. Ow.
Oh, Murdaugh bad. Murdaugh guilty.
I'm sorry, Neil. Real quick.
Okay, I'm trying not to look at his arm, but it's really creeping me out whenever it moves.
Oh, stop it!
Sorry.
You took some steps to make sure everything was, as we say in Miami, kosher. What steps were those?
I wasn't aware Miami had a big Jewish population.
Don't ask me.
Kosher? Is it Miami full of Cubans? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. But I would
have thought that Miami or Florida is very, very much white people. I don't know.
No, it's Hispanic.
I thought it was just old people.
It's a lot of older white people and Hispanics or Cubans.
Right.
Because a lot of people from Cuba, and we encouraged people from Cuba to defect for a long time.
Yeah.
When we were fighting communism.
Hey, David, what are we watching? Okay, so this dude here on the right, he is the co-author of Becky Hill's book, Behind the Doors of Justice. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And he's being interviewed by Southern something. It's a STS, whatever it is. And yeah, he just like, okay. So the co-author clearly, like, he wasn't in the jury room or anything like that. So he is not going to be charged or anything. So, and he, at this point in time, he stands to still make money from the book, right? So the book hasn't been taken off the shelves or like online shelves. So as he continues, he's basically continuing his press tour, right? Well, the press tour that Becky Hill would have been on if it weren't the fact that right now she can't talk. Yeah. So he's out there sort of defending her honor and saying that she's done nothing wrong. And so this is an appropriate face for him. Yeah, pretty much. And so this is the second time I've seen him speak publicly.
Yeah,
since
this
this
is the second one. And he's going to do another one, he says, on Monday, I believe, with him.
Monday, yeah.
Because this was like impromptu and he didn't have time to prepare. I mean, I don't know if he would have, it would have made a difference with how bland he is, but, you know.
But yeah, I mean, now is the time for the money to flow in for this book, because even people like when I was talking to AV the other day, like she was saying, I think I want to buy the book.
I know.
I
want to.
So I said to her at the moment, I'm like, everybody would be thinking that, like, go buy the book. It must be selling.
Out of principle, I'm not going to, but I would like to.
Yeah. Like, it's got to be selling.
It came out in last month, in beginning of August, so sales would have been dipping. So this guy's fat as a cow, or whatever the expression is, right now, because he just gets like an even bigger bump than before.
Yeah, because like with Corey Richards, right? Once she was indicted, or is that the word?
Yeah.
Amazon took it off, right? So it was not, you couldn't buy it anymore. Yeah.
Like there was one copy I found on Amazon that sold like 2 months before or ago. Like one guy's trying to sell his copy for $1,000. So
but you couldn't buy it, right?
Well, I could buy it for $1,000, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, no, but you couldn't buy buy it.
No,
right?
I looked everywhere. I did find somebody on YouTube reading the book. So I still may end up doing that around her trial, like do a video of, because I have all the words in the book, so I can just read it. But
yeah, sure. But that's the thing. Like, people want it now.
Yeah.
Right. And it'll be the same with this one. Like, people want it now.
And
right. So the sales would just be like boom.
Yeah.
As soon as this happens. Yeah. And so this guy raking it in right now, but only for a short period of time. Like, the window is short because she's going to get charged.
Probably,
no question. Well, the affidavits are there, and I don't see why she would not get charged. Assuming, why wouldn't she get charged? Because Sled's involved.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
I mean, they're gonna, Anyways.
Yeah, cool.
To make sure that you were following what guidelines?
Well, one thing that
whatever sold.
People wondered, or people do wonder, is how could an sitting elected official write a book? And so we researched and we pulled up.
Trust me, our elected officials have done a lot worse than just writing a book.
Statutes, and actually sent a letter to the ethics commission.
Oh, people are rating her book down now? That's sad. It was at 5 stars before.
Oh, sad. I bet they're still buying it.
I know.
Yeah.
We should do a campaign, 1-star campaign.
And they reviewed it and they said, well, you are allowed as a human being, freedom of speech, to be able to do that. However, confidential material, sealed documents, things like that directly relate to your job, you cannot share. So that took, that was really a process of doing that. That's how that worked.
And is this ethics commission, is this an overarching commission for the state of South Carolina?
Yes.
Is this part of the judicial branch? Where do you find this ethics commission?
It's in Columbia. It's part of the state government, and that's how they kind of monitor how the government works. And
how is that super chat still up?
Anything from, are you allowed to accept gifts?
11 minutes,
and reimbursements, and just doing things, on the up and up the right.
Who wants the over under on when he finally removes it? Oh,
I don't get it. It's not even complimentary to him. It's actually,
it's kind of like your partner's an idiot and corrupt.
Yeah.
Why would she do that?
How is that there? What the? It's like, why? Why are you even dealing with this person? Like, how could she do that? What the? It should just say what the.
I think it was just a comment.
What the BECK?
Dirk. Yeah. What the BECK?
What the BECK?
Oh, good Lord.
Right way. We also had a noted media attorney, very familiar with
I don't even know if it's a super chat.
No, it's a regular comment.
It's a regular comment.
No, if it was a super chat, it would have said like $2, $5.
Yeah.
Whatever.
She didn't even pay. Like she's getting her money's worth. 0.
Yeah.
Huh. And another attorney and such, and help with the editing of the book. But
so it appears. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I did.
But I
apologize. But so from what you're telling me,
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I did. Anyways, what you're telling me? And he continues to cut him off.
Well, he's involved now. Like he's not looking at his phone anymore.
Oh, that's true. Like, can this guy I'm bad at when I pause and have weird faces, but this guy's face is just weird.
Oh.
Every time I pause. Yeah.
He at least
really
is making money.
True. What is he drinking? Pepsi and rum? Okay.
The ethical side of things, even the legal side, you said you hired a media attorney who basically gave you the green light to go ahead as long as you were not providing confidential information. Outside of that, it was...
Or, influencing jurors or lying to the judge to get them kicked off because they would have voted for Murdaugh, stuff like that.
Okay to do this. Is that right?
I noticed that too. Hey, do I know you, Daisy Girl Williams?
Is that Becky?
Is that Becky?
I don't think that's
No,
Becky.
I don't think that is Becky. I think it's somebody else.
I don't know who it is because it's creepy, but yeah.
It's really creepy.
I feel like it's going to come alive and stabulate him.
Stabulate him or serve him some cupcakes. One or the other.
Or, run for HOA president.
Yeah, maybe. Hi, W. Daisy Girl Williams. Welcome.
Okay, so we're at 12 minutes now of the super chat up.
It's not a super chat. It's just a comment.
Whatever, a chat.
Very strange that it's still up.
See if we can get 15 minutes in.
That's correct. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And so
it's his mom.
I noticed someone is
creepy.
I'm old school, so is that a tweet that's on the screen?
No, this is so we have a live chat, and the reason I brought this up, Black
Widow, we have
even this guy's fed up with it. He brought it up 15 minutes or 12 minutes ago. He finally noticed. If this guy is trolling him, that would be epic.
Oh my!
Well, no, that's kind of weird. I mean,
is that true?
Now I feel like a dick.
Hold on, really?
Yeah, that might be true.
Oh, we're so sorry.
Okay, now I feel like a jerk, but
Well, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
We didn't know that.
Okay,
we're so sorry. Yeah. Okay. Oops.
Hey, my grandmother was imprisoned in World War II as well, so not treated as bad, but still, I'm not a fan.
Okay. Right.
The best guests, Neil Gordon.
I just
Gordon
thought,
right
oops.
now, who co-wrote the book with Becky Hill, but we have a better community. And Black Widower comes to us from Europe.
No, we're not. We're not
and
laughing at
she
the
is
mum at
saying
all.
that
We're
I'm
just laughing at
confused
the
that a
fact there was
clerk
a
would write.
Oh, yeah.
cutout. That's
It was
all.
just a random woman. I didn't know
It was
who.
just random.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, I won't. Yeah.
It was just random that was there. So hang on a minute, just a minute. Can you go back to what he was saying about the chat?
Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And so I noticed someone is, well, that's, I'm old school. So is that a tweet that's on the screen?
So this is so we have a live chat, and the reason I brought this up, Black Widower, we have the best guests, Neil Gordon right now, who co-wrote the book with Becky Hill, but we have a better community, and Black Widower comes to us from Europe, and she is saying that I'm confused that a clerk would write about the trial. Even we have a global audience, and a lot of the people overseas say that in their countries it would never be allowed. But again, you're saying that, which is why I brought the comment up, but you're saying that
Right.
you went through the proper channels and you were, in essence, to use a Hollywood term, green lit on this to go ahead and do it. Is that right?
He was.
That's correct. And when we did a lot of research around the country, and to the best of my knowledge, I'm not aware of another clerk of court who has written a book. Of course, attorneys write books.
Oh, go figure.
Yeah, funny that.
Yeah, I wonder
why they don't.
And how things have gone and so.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that first part is normal. I mean, that is how juries work. Because you felt pressured by other jurors. I mean, that's I mean, not every jury, but most, I think. Basically, it comes down to one or two holdouts, and the others just start screaming at them. My dad was in a jury where this 20-year-old girl was the holdout, and she just broke down into tears. It's a lot of pressure because you're convicting a man. You're putting him in prison. I mean, in this case, for life. But then you have the other jurors who haven't had a cigarette, who are pissed off, want to go home. So they all feel he's obviously guilty. Now, some people can hold out. In the Husel case, for instance, there was this one guy who, like 10 of the, he thought 2 of the 12 or 14 euthanasia or doctor of death or whatever charges were guilty. And he was pretty strong, hung in there for like over 30 hours, I think. But they just went over the testimony over and over and finally convinced him. Most people aren't that strong-willed. They'll just give in. They don't like confrontation. And
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Most people don't. So many people don't like confrontation. They're just willing to not have an argument. Yeah.
So, and then she asked jurors. She instructed them not, or she asked jurors about their opinions about Mr. Murdaugh's guilt or innocence. She instructed them not to believe evidence presented in Mr. Murdaugh's defense, including his own testimony. She lied to the judge to remove a juror she believed might not vote guilty, and she presumed jurors to reach a guilty verdict quickly so she could profit from it.
She pressured jurors to reach a guilty verdict quickly so she could profit from it.
I mean, that sounds like what the juror feels. I mean, it's
that's not okay. Yeah, that's.
I mean, that's just
that's
his
more of an opinion.
Impression. Yeah.
No. Well, this is a sworn statement, but but that's what the juror's saying.
Yeah, it might not be true, but it is what the juror felt.
Yes, but if you combine that with 2 other jurors saying,
I haven't seen the other affidavits, but
okay,
but yeah, it's.
But there, okay. So it is all circumstantial. It is all. I mean, unless it's backed up by video of Miss Hill going and having private conversations with the jury foreperson at the times stated by one of the jurors who was talking about them going and having these private conversations, like at Murdaugh property, or at that going to the toilet together and talking. So I don't know if there's any footage getting around or any other way of proving
Yeah.
that actually happened.
There
So
might be
more than just
at the
one
courthouse.
person's statement. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if there's any way of backing it up.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much needs to be, how much evidence there needs to be to show that this actually happened.
This is, I mean, the
Mm.
most egregious allegation I've ever heard of, and I think most lawyers have ever heard of.
Yeah, it's egregious. It's salacious. I'm shocked and chagrined.
To me, it's kind of a case of better safe than sorry, but that's just my opinion.
That's a good point, old line. I think the second paragraph is from Dick and Jim's motion, not the sworn statement.
Okay.
Okay. What we do without you here?
Thank you.
To go ahead and do it. Is that right?
That's correct. And to when we did a lot of research around the country, and to the best of my knowledge, I'm not aware of another clerk of court
Dude, you just spit.
Who has written a book. Of course, attorneys write books after trials and how things have gone and so forth. So that was an interesting situation. But the reason to write the book is, again, I mean, this is historical. I mean, I'm 59 years old. I don't know that I'll ever see another trial like this. And it was an opportunity, a love letter to the community, to Walterboro, to all the hardworking people that worked to make this happen, all the people Becky got to interact with, national media, to regular folks. I mean, we highlighted a young lady with Down syndrome who wanted to see the trial, and it made her week. And just so many other things that, the national media.
Do we really need that? Do we really?
So, sex sells.
Okay,
so, you need a sex scene in there.
Is this Golden Girls?
Or maybe Murdaugh and her hooked up in the jailhouse cell during lunch.
Maybe that's why she wanted him found guilty.
And he spurned her.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, actually, you know what? There has been rumors that they hooked up in high school. That actually went to high school together. Yeah, and like she's a jilted lover from years before, and
amazing.
that she's that because they're about the same age, I think.
Yeah.
So that, and it's a small town. Like, I mean, everyone shags each other, surely.
Surely.
I mean, obviously, this is all just speculation.
Yeah.
And rumor, and I did not make this up, somebody else did.
Yeah.
And I'm all the way in Australia, I wouldn't know.
Media covers the blood and the gore, and this was just peeling back the curtain just a little bit.
Yeah, I just want to read you this statement. We'll go a few more minutes. I know you were gracious with your time. And then, as promised, we're going to bring you back Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time for a full show with Neil Gordon, who is the co-author of Behind the Doors of Justice, with the now controversial
That's more likely, Dirk.
Becky Hill. So Jim Griffin, this is all public record, obviously, and Vic Harpootlian, as part of their motion for a new trial, they say that they had two sworn statements from two different jurors. This one is from juror 630. And the quote is, "I had questions about Mr. Murdaugh's guilt, but voted guilty because I felt pressured by other jurors." She asked jurors about their opinions about Mr. Murdaugh's guilt or innocence. She, meaning Becky Hill, instructed them not to believe evidence presented in Mr. Murdaugh's defense, including his own testimony. She lied to the judge to remove a juror she believed might not vote guilty, and she pressured jurors to reach a guilty verdict quickly so she could profit from it. How do you react to this alleged sworn statement in this affidavit?
Yeah.
Neil?
What's the actual BECK?
Absolutely, be glad to. The thing that actually may surprise you, that jumps off the screen to me, is the word pressure.
No.
I've never heard Becky Hill be anything but polite, and I have talked with her every day for 6 months. I've never heard her so much as interrupt somebody. She is very measured and very timid. She is just polite. That's not in her DNA to pressure anyone about anything. It's just sometimes you just know people who are like that. And to reach a quick verdict like that, again, to profit from it, I just mentioned, she hadn't even started writing a book until we met, and this occurred, goodness, probably the writing started probably 6 weeks after the trial. So pushing a quicker verdict,
You can't. You're right, MG. And hey, how's it going?
There's no, I mean, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Oh, we have
and
a new
then
chat.
I think the other part that was discussed was someone that was removed from the jury, and there was some sort of Facebook post. To me, that's not even the issue, because the reality is,
look at the chat. Let's come up on screen.
Oh yeah.
I love that he's being challenged. Check it.
Wow.
Okay, I'll read it out. Collier Landry says, what I would like to know is if this book being released initiates a retrial of AM, can Neil and Becky live with the fact that they may have been responsible for that?
Let's see how long that stays up there.
Can you sleep at night? Look in my eyes and tell me. Did you look in their eyes? Look in my eyes and tell me, can you live with that?
Did you look in their eyes with check number 1872?
Yes. Did you look in their eyes as you took that check?
Did Judge you? Got word.
Wow, that's a really good one.
That a particular juror may have been chatting up what she was listening to in the trial and taking it out into the Walterboro community. And the judge was alarmed by that and actually interviewed 3 people that corroborated that this happened with the juror. And he came on, one morning at 9 a.m. that they were starting that day's trial. And he said, I have an announcement to make. I've decided to remove a juror, and here's why. So that's really the point. The reality was according to the judge, she was speaking out of turn, and he was trying to protect the sanctity of the court proceedings.
Neil, just a couple of housekeeping points here. Just to reiterate, the book was self-published, and as you mentioned, it was not a blockbuster deal with Simon & Schuster. You, in fact, paid out money, did not make money on the book. Is that correct?
Well, it's called an investment.
That is correct. I mean, we're hoping, I will tell you, and this is just a byproduct of these allegations. Book sales have been very good through Amazon.
Jamie, where are you? I sent you a link.
I know, I sent her one too.
You're correct. I mean, when you put $30,000 in, you have to sell a lot of books to make that
MG, what you doing? You want to come on?
Correct. Self-published.
And how did you become to know Becky Hill, and how did you two decide to go on this path of writing this book? Did she reach out to you? Were you friends prior?
It's actually an amazing story. My wife, like so many other who I would call obsessed people over this trial, people that were just glued to podcasts and Court TV, Law and Crime, the networks, everything. She was one of them. She lives 2 hours away with me here in our home in Evans, Georgia, near Augusta. She traveled with her colleague,
she be the court clerk for the new trial,
and spent about 4 or 5 days in Walterboro. Spent money out of
MG and Jamie.
Hotel.
This
wasn't paid
very
to photograph anything. She just wanted to document it and just enjoy this moment in time. The day of the trip to Moselle, for whatever reason, Melissa felt confident, and she set up in Photographer's Row as the caravan was heading to Moselle. This is very interesting because it involves the jury. Becky came over to Melissa and said, Melissa, who is that fellow over there with the word press on his chest on a T-shirt?
I think he's with the press.
Well, I don't think he has credentials, but he's been doing a lot of Facebook Lives. She went over
Okay,
to
first-
the fellow and reminded him, do not film the jurors' faces. That's
Okay,
against-
first of all, as David has
wouldn't.
told me, all you need to be a member of the press is a badge that says press. You make your own badge. It's like arts and
Yeah.
crafts time. There is no official press. I mean, unless, well, there's no official press, and then you just go to the court and you're like, yeah, I'll obey the rules, and I want to be a member in here and cover the trial. So it's stupid.
against the law. You have to protect the jurors. Do not do that. They took a selfie, the two of them. Melissa, gathering all these pictures and elements from the documentation of being there, reached out to her a couple of weeks later, sent her the selfie and said, do you mind if I do a coffee table book? Could I put your picture in my book? Becky said, sure. And by the way, this was such an amazing trial. I've always wanted to write since I was a little girl, and I need to think about doing a book. And Melissa said, you need to meet my husband. He's never written a book, but he's been in journalism forever. That's how we met. After the trial and everything, we became very close friends, and I got to know her heart, become good friends with her. She's just
touch
a
the tip.
person, and that's how the book was published.
Interesting origin story.
Okay, I'm gonna
Collier Landry
vomit. This
was
is
on with
ridiculous.
us for the live press conference. He is well known. His father was a high profile murderer. He murdered his own mother, and it became a documentary. He has a question for you. I'd like to know, and then we'll let you go, Neil. Appreciate the help.
Here we go.
What I'd like to know is if this book being released initiates a retrial of Alec Murdaugh, can Neil and Becky live with the fact that they may have been responsible for that? How would you feel if this book does trigger a retrial?
I don't know how the book would have really anything to do with that, to be honest with you. I mean, the book is one person's perspective
press pause.
of what happened. Now, the
Clips.
allegations of what occurred.
It's a coffee table book about coffee tables. Sorry. I'm sorry. I had to say that. Yes, Lefty. Okay, go back.
During the trial, as opposed to what was written about after
the book turns into a coffee table. Hey, Melissa Jane.
That's for I guess the law and the government and the investigators to kind of work out. But we live in a society of freedom of the press, and I mean, let's be honest. This has been the big story all over the world since March, and many people have written about many things, and there have been many podcasts, including by people involved. Jim Griffin has a podcast. Attorneys,
he's a liar.
Eric Bland has a pod. So many people have been involved. So I don't buy that. I'm sorry.
We've got a super sticker here from Carla Riley. Joel, thanks for
absolutely
providing
fair question
for all sides of the story. STS best guests and best practices. Do like to hear all sides of the story. And right now, you just heard from Neil Gordon, who is Becky Hill, the now sort of infamous clerk of court for Colleton County, who wrote this book, co-authored it with Neil Gordon, and Neil was gracious and kind enough to come on the show. Again, Neil is going to be back for a full episode Sunday night. Full episode Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. There are a lot of comments. One last question for you, Neil.
Yeah.
Across the board, people are saying Becky Hill just wanted fame, and I want you to be able to respond to that set of comments, kind of a collective comment from many people here. How do you respond when you hear people say Becky Hill just wanted fame?
Boy, trying to define what the word fame meant.
Oh, come on. Fame means fame.
she grew up and actually wanted to study journalism in college. She ended up becoming a school teacher, got married at a young age, but she always, you ever hear the expression, everybody has a book in them? She just always thought in the back of her mind, I want to write a book someday. And as she was experiencing this trial, that little itch came back that she wanted to scratch. And she's, you're not supposed to talk about ladies' ages, but she's about 56 years old. And, this was an opportunity.
This just doesn't smell like roses to me.
But she's a pretty, she's just a humble person. So I just don't equate the word fame with her. She hopes the book does well. She hopes people enjoy her.
You don't know what fame means, Paige.
Does she want to be liked for it, and that that she did a good job? Sure. She's not out to be famous.
Right, Jamie? He doesn't even know her.
As we say in Miami also, you're a mensch. Appreciate you coming on last second, very last minute. We're going to let you go, and then we're going to bring in a team of attorneys from South Carolina. Really appreciate your perspective. You'll come back on, is that right, on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern? Correct?
Yes, we will. And of course, we have a website, behindthedoorsofjustice.com. It has my wife is the photographer, so forgive me. She has a lot of very interesting, unique photos people have not seen, and you can go to the website and learn about that. And if you'd like to learn about the book from Becky, you can also go on there and order it if you like. And I very much look forward to Monday. We spent time with Gigi doing her podcast in Greenville. And we did a co-book signing event with Michael DeWitt in it's somewhere in the Low Country, and I'm trying to remember, and I'm terrible. Hampton.
Yes, Jamie. She could have written a book on cooking.
Carolina.
And we're actually going to
just generally being a busybody.
He doesn't even know yet. We're
going to invite him and Gigi
to come on with you
Becky Hill
on Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. But I'm really looking forward to it. I appreciate you having the courage to come on now it has become a large media platform to share this, share your story. And all the best to you. And we'll come back. And by the way, Becky Hill has an open invite on my show anytime if she would like to.
I'm sure she does.
Let us know.
She's not able to Monday, but I will let her know. And when the time is right, she.
You know, it'd be funny if the other Becky Hill turned up.
Yeah.
Right. And just for anyone who's not aware, there are 2 Becky Hills at Colleton County Courthouse. How's that? Right? There are 2. And because people were talking about, Becky Hill, guess what? Becky Hill, her husband is the sheriff, right? Colleton County Sheriff.
Yeah.
And isn't that a conflict of interest? Blah, 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 blah. But then, plot twist, no, he's not. There's another Becky Hill who works at Colleton County Courthouse. Imagine the phone calls, like people calling up going, hey, can I speak to Becky Hill? And then, hey, that wasn't bad, huh? That was pretty good. Right. Yeah. Can I speak to Becky Hill? Oh, yeah, I'll just put you through. And then, oh, no, that's the other Becky Hill. No, you're looking for the clerk of court? No, I'm not the clerk of court. Yeah, no, we get that all the time. I'll just put you through. Imagine that.
Yeah.
How painful. Why would you have 2 Becky Hills? Well, could you just call yourself Rebecca or something?
It'd be nice.
You'd change your name. You just go by Beck or Rib.
Yeah.
Rib Hill.
He will absolutely respond and be in this seat. And it's really been a pleasure. I haven't heard of your podcast before. You do a wonderful job, and I'm really interested in learning your origin. And thank you for the time. I really appreciate it.
Neil, thank you. Talk on Monday night. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
No,
And
and it was completely. People were like, "Yeah, sure,
lawyers.
He's the sheriff." It didn't even sound like a stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was entertaining.
Thanks, Mads. Okay, now hang on. Are they talking? The next thing they're talking about? Are they talking to lawyers in the area about this?
I have no idea.
Now, with the
Keep
help
going.
of the COE here, there's Lori Murray, Taylor Bell in a car.
I'm trying, Mads.
Are you all hearing me?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I've got you.
Excellent. Lori Murray. Lori is an esteemed attorney. I've got everyone's bio here. She has an office in Columbia, South Carolina that bears her name. She is an aggressive litigator. She's a former law clerk and also a former prosecutor. And she joins us now. I'm going to keep some of you muted, and I'll unmute you as we go here. But Lori, were you able to listen to the interview? What do you make of that interview with Neil Gordon?
I beg to differ with him with it not being about publicity. It's about publicity, or he wouldn't be bragging about being on all those television shows this morning and whenever he was on. He wouldn't be bragging about being on your podcast. He wouldn't be coming back Monday night. He has said what he needs to say. He's not the issue in this case.
I like her.
He is the issue in this case. That book having some part of it might be the issue in this case, but I think it's all about publicity. It's all about selling those books. As you heard him say, they're, the sales are up.
Talking about, Murph?
This has all come to light. And I bought that book a month ago because I knew there were rumors about this. I bought it a month ago trying to figure out what was going on with Becky because I heard that she'd been told to lawyer up. It's not the best book. I don't necessarily buy that he had no plans to write this book until after the trial. It's just too much coincidence for me. Sorry.
Crime Sleuthin says,
Sleuthin.
By the way, she became a YouTube member. Thank you, Crime Sleuthin. Ooh, this lady don't play. I like her already. Speaking about Lori Murray, Kim Varner. Yeah, Kim Varner is one of South Carolina's most esteemed criminal defense attorneys. And he joins us now. He's been practicing since '79. He's done all the TV networks, CNN, CBS Early Show. We had him on during the height of the Alec Murdaugh trial. Happy to welcome you back, Kim. Kim, what do you make of that interview? How did it strike you?
Start with, can you hear me?
100%, loud and clear.
What?
Good deal.
Oh.
First, I agree. He is not the issue. The fact of writing a book has nothing to do with this case. The critical question is, did she have communications or contact of any kind or nature with these jurors? That is verboten. The only thing a court can say, or anyone can say to a jury, is, perfunctory things such as, there's the restroom, would you like refreshments, do you need a break, things of that nature. If there were any discussions about the weight of the evidence, the believability of any witnesses, or telling people, they have to be in a hurry, that is jury tampering, flat out, straight out, simple as it can be. The statement that was made by the juror that he felt pressure by other jurors, that's normal. Jurors do pressure one another. That's within the boundaries. But an outside person coming in, particularly the clerk of court, is unacceptable. It is criminal. She can very well be prosecuted for this and possibly go to jail. And it's going to result in, quite probably,
I like this.
if
this
it's
is good.
proven, a new trial for Alex Murdaugh, which could have a totally different result and possibly with a different judge. So if anyone should feel guilty or bad, it's not the gentleman who wrote the book. He's not.
Yeah, there's going to be a different judge because this judge is an idiot who has gone out and done interviews about Murdaugh. You can't do that. You can't, until you retire, you can't talk about the case. Like the Jodi Arias judge has retired. So Dave is going to try to talk to her. And it's been quite a while after.
Yeah.
So that's
over a decade.
Acceptable. But a current judge, and he is probably going to retire soon, but this entire thing is, I don't want to say anything is certain in South Carolina, as we've learned how corrupt it is. But it's going to be a different judge. And quite frankly, I think they should be looking at every other case she's been involved in.
Yeah, that's correct.
Even if it wasn't for money, she's a busybody who wants to stick her nose in things.
Well, look, if she's been found to have tampered with the jury on one occasion, then yeah, I think that there's definitely reason to look into other cases she's been involved in, trials she's been involved in.
It's only been 4 years, I guess.
Yeah.
3 years. But
Yeah.
every case she's ever been involved in, or every jury trial,
Yes.
you cannot trust the results now. I mean, criminal defense lawyers in South Carolina are should be foaming at the mouth to. No, that's the Jensen documentary or manuscript. Oh no, this is too. Yeah,
the telenovela. Yes. Exactly.
Not the one who allegedly engaged in these bad acts. It's Becky Hill. If she did those things, it needs to be handled.
As they say in Miami, oy vey. I don't know that I can handle another trial. That was going to be my next question. Let's go to Taylor Bell, and then we'll come right back to the other two attorneys here, and then we'll kind of open it up more generally. Taylor, to you, just going to mute.
I want to hear what this dude's going to say.
Have you unmuted? Those who watch STS know Taylor Bell. Besides being a handsome young man, he's focused on representing criminal defendants. He graduated from the University of South Carolina Law School, worked in the public defender's office. Taylor Bell, same question to you. It's easy to be a journalist today. What do you make of that Neil Gordon interview, who is now Becky Hill's well-known, suddenly co-author?
Look at him. He's so mad.
So I take it as this being maybe a media front on part of her sending him out since she can't talk right now. She's retained counsel. I do not take a position one way or the other yet until I've heard and had a hearing to determine the credibility of these allegations. So I'm not taking a position one way or the other yet. But if true, it's terrible. If true, this is terrible for so-called justice. And Behind the Doors of Justice, name of the book is this really justice? Is this what happens behind those closed doors?
It's ironic. He's right.
County, there was an article from a local blog today where it's alleged potentially that there were indictments.
He already has,
because one had gone missing
for federal.
And these are more things that I'm just like, is this actually what happens behind those doors of the chambers? I'm hoping not. I don't believe it does. But if true,
yes,
this could be trouble, absolute trouble. But if not true,
I mean, this is the worst nightmare.
One way or the other, she did the right thing.
Lawyer.
She's hired very competent lawyers. Will Lewis, I've known him. I've worked with Will on some matters. We've been apart on other sides of each other. He's very, very sharp young man, about my age. Justin Bamberg, sharp man, went to school with him, worked on cases with him. She's done the right thing. So folks that say just because she lawyered up means that, she's guilty of something, I disagree wholeheartedly.
No, just because you lawyer up doesn't make you guilty. That's stupid.
Hire you a lawyer that knows what they're doing, knows the landscape.
She needs a lawyer.
They're doing everything that they can, I believe,
it doesn't mean she's guilty,
to protect her. But I'm awaiting a hearing to see what really is said on the witness stand by these jurors if it's granted.
And it sounds like that hearing is going to come fairly soon. You heard Neil Gordon say it could be pushed back, but I believe the South Carolina Attorney General has about 10 days to respond to the motion filed by Jim Griffin and Dick Harpootlian. Lori Murray, to you, Becky Hill put out a very simple statement. It's not true, she said. What do you make of that? And
that's what she said. It's not true.
There's going to be a retrial in this case.
That's it.
Well,
I never do that.
I agree with Taylor that we don't have a hearing yet. We need a hearing. We need to hear from all the parties. We need to hear from the jurors. We need to hear from Judge Newman. He's actually now becoming
who else says it's not true?
Of the Facebook
Alex
issue.
Murdaugh.
But a lot of my followers seem to think that there is a grand conspiracy that Alec from behind bars is, pulling strings, or that his attorneys are pulling strings to get these jurors to say what they want. And I just think the conspiracy theories are a little bit out there. We lawyers know that we have good facts and bad facts. And for the state, this is a bad fact.
And what, Alex is pulling this behind the scenes to get off murder charges, only to face the rest of his life in prison on federal and state money financial charges?
You can't just, okay, here's the thing, right? You can't just make jurors say these things happened.
No.
Right? This is, from what I understand, since this woman has come out with this book, they've been pissed and they have come out and spoken, right? They didn't want to speak. In fact, this months have passed and Jim Griffin and Harpootlian have not had any of them speak. Like they have come out because, and only these three, there are others who have been tight-lipped, but from what I can tell, and I might be wrong, but it's because of the fact this book has come out that the ones that have spoken have done so because of the fact that they're annoyed that this woman has decided to come out and make money off what has happened. And they're like, hang on a minute, you actually are writing a book about the things that happened in that jury room that were not okay.
Yeah.
And we're willing to actually swear on under oath as to what actually really did happen, because this is not okay.
No.
Right. And
we have to.
They're putting themselves through a lot of trauma now because of this.
Yeah.
They're going to have to go and go to hearings again over this and testify. And this is not nothing. Like they're putting themselves down to actually drag themselves through a court system now. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accept that it's a bad fact and we have to learn what to do with it. And to think that it is not
if I thought he was truly guilty, they could be like, if I'm not
said,
speaking to you, I could care less.
This was, these jurors were worse. You have to believe that not just one, but three jurors were worse into believing or, to lying about what was going on. All of them said that she was in the jury room and had spoken with the foreperson on multiple occasions. All of them said that they were not allowed to take smoke breaks until the verdict came back. All of them said that she talked to them about Elliot Murdaugh's testimony. This is all confirmed in a sworn affidavit. And if true, then we have a mess. And then Judge Newman with the Facebook issue being that she said she saw the post on the Friday night before that Monday after he testified. And that would have been like the 24th, I think, or 23rd that it was actually there that she saw it. And there was a apology post found by Dick Harpootlian when he pulled the Facebook records saying that, the apology post for that post had been deleted before she said she saw the actual post. So it's just, and those are actual facts that we're dealing with. Those are actual records that we're dealing with. So there's something that's there going on. So we do have a hearing. The process is to go to the Court of Appeals, have them set aside the appeal, stay the appeal for a minute, and then they'll send it back to circuit court for a hearing. And
oh, was that you?
Oh yeah, sorry. Junior was.
Are you talking about who?
No, Junior was on my desktop, and his paw was on the power button.
All right, I thought it was one of the guests.
Oh no, sorry. Junior was about to turn my computer off.
Okay. Well, technically it is Junior because it's Babu Junior, right?
Yes, exactly. Babu Junior.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
His namesake.
We just had a hearing today, or I don't know the actual date of the order, but the Supreme Court just came out with an order. No, the Supreme Court just came out with an order in the Gerard Price case where they talked about the requirements for a hearing and whether these hearings should be public, like in the Gerard Price case.
You're so right,
and for this case to be closed, I thought it would be closed off because there are jurors testifying, but the state bears the burden of proving that there's a reason that this hearing should be closed off. So if there is indeed a hearing in front of a circuit court judge, probably not Judge Newman, then hopefully it will be public and we'll all get to hear that evidence.
Grant Varner, Kim Varner's son, has just joined the conversation. Grant and Kim, if you can, if it's not too much trouble, you can turn your phones on their side in landscape mode. That would benefit the show greatly. You look a lot more
okay.
handsome that way, but there you go.
Let's see if it'll do it.
There
we go.
There you go.
Good looking man.
Grant, since you just hopped on, I was going to ask this of your father, but I'm going to ask you now. This question at the bottom here is an interesting question. September 26th, Alec Murdaugh, September 22nd, I'm sorry, he's supposed to plead guilty to about $8 million in financial crimes, multiple counts. The question is he still going to plead guilty on the financial crimes with this new revelation? What say you, Grant Varner?
I don't see any reason he wouldn't go ahead with the plea on the financial crimes. I mean, there was a ridiculous amount of testimony about it in the 6-week trial.
But my understanding is you cannot use the testimony to impeach him in another trial. That was my understanding of South Carolina law. I could be wrong, but I thought he had kind of immunity for that. So I will have to research that.
He admitted to all of it. I don't see the benefit, at least at this point in time, of trying to walk that back.
And Kim, to you, just to reiterate some of what Neil Gordon just told us, and for those of you just joining the show, Neil Gordon co-authored the book Behind the Doors of Justice with the court of clerk Becky Hill, which is now a very controversial book and could potentially trigger a retrial in the Alec Murdaugh case. Obviously, we've got to wait for a hearing that's supposed to happen within about 10 days' time. But Kim, to you, just to recap, Neil Gordon said this was self-published. It wasn't about money, that they actually invested about $30,000 of their own money, that he did not meet with Becky Hill until about 20 days after the trial. They did not begin writing until well into April. And perhaps most importantly, Becky Hill herself sent a letter to the South Carolina Ethics Commission and even hired a media attorney to make sure she could write such a book. And they were told they can include everything that is not confidential to the trial. And it looks like she was given a green light by the Ethics Commission in Columbia, South Carolina. Does that sway your opinion about how this plays out one way or the other, Kim? And is that even the issue here?
It has no bearing whatsoever in my thought process. The critical question is, did she have improper communication with the jury? Do I believe there's a financial issue? Whether it exists or not, I think there's always that hope. That's one thing I question. Number two, being in front of the camera and being the center of attention is something a lot of people desire. It certainly accomplished that. And yeah, overall, the question is, as a clerk of court, she has a sworn duty to make sure that justice is carried out, which means everyone gets a fair and impartial trial, without undue influence, side issues, or anything of that nature. And that totally undermines everyone's faith in the judicial system. It is a violation of Mr. Murdaugh's constitutional rights. Whether he's guilty or not guilty is not an issue. That's for a jury to decide. And the point of that being is it is for the jury, not for the clerk of court, or not for my opinion or anyone else's opinion. And we're not to communicate with that jury. So the fact that she wrote a book, I don't think is an issue whatsoever. Whether she made money or not, doesn't matter. What her motivation is really not a concern of mine either. The question is, did she have improper contact with the jury? And if she did, that is illegal. That is improper. And that definitely impinges on anyone's right to a fair and impartial trial to be decided by the evidence and by the jury itself, and the jury alone and the evidence alone.
And well put. And Dick Harpootlian, who's been in practice, as he said, close to 50 years, at the news conference said he's never seen anything of this nature. Lori, to you from Teresa, and you brought this up, you touched on it, which is why I'm coming back to you on it. If there was another trial, would Judge Newman be a witness? This is an interesting curveball here because of the Facebook issue. Can you explain sort of the Facebook issue for those who are not that familiar, and why If you believe so, there is a possibility he could become a witness as opposed to the judge.
Well, I will say this. So there's a couple of reasons why he's a witness, but not for the trial itself. The Facebook issue, again, is the egg juror, and Becky saying that there was a Facebook post that her ex-husband made saying that she came in or was talking about the trial outside of the court. That post probably didn't exist. He signed an affidavit saying he never posted anything just like it.
Pooch is out of his mind.
So it probably didn't exist. So Judge Newman would come in. I want to make one point to you as well, is that we have 10 days for the state to respond to the Court of Appeals regarding the stay. And once the Court of Appeals hears their response to whether to stay the appeal, then we have to schedule the motion in circuit court. A judge has to decide in circuit court whether to hear that motion. And so that motion is not going to be heard in 10 days. That's the motion we're looking for, not the one on whether to stay his appeal. The one you want to hear is the one in front of a circuit court judge on whether to set aside this verdict and give him a new trial. That is the hearing that Judge Newman will be a witness at, because he has information. He's the one who requested Becky go back and find the Facebook post. He's the one that took the information on the egg juror. He's the one who dismissed her. So he would be a witness
really
at that motion hearing, not at the trial. But also another reason.
Okay.
One is to stay the appeal.
Yeah.
The other is a hearing with a higher court judge to outright dismiss the charges, I think.
Yep.
And that's the one where Newman will be a witness at.
Right. So there's a few different hearings that have to happen.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what they're on about. Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. So basically, guys, this goes on for a fair while. We're not going to play the entire thing. And I think who was it that was saying earlier that it would have been really cool if the author had stuck around to face these guys. That would have been just so much better on the behalf of the content creator there, because really, I mean, that's when there would have been some real fireworks. Now he's supposed to be coming back on Monday.
Yeah,
and well, I wonder whether he was watching when, like, if he continued to watch this this stream.
Because they were kind of an asshole.
Well, speaking the damn truth.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because they, especially that lady, I love her.
Yeah.
She's just like, I don't know why he's got to come back on Monday, because he said everything he needed to say. And just that's exactly what she said, wasn't it? She said, yeah. And to say that they're not looking for publicity is, like garbage, because they're promoting a book. Oh, look, I love it. I love the fact that I have newfound respect for this whole channel and stream that we're watching, that they then just went full 180 and got these 4 lawyers on and got this whole different perspective. I really like it because these guys here are mad as hell, and they are speaking the damn truth.
Criminal defense attorney would be.
Yep. They're completely speaking the truth, and I would encourage everybody in your own time, if you would like to go and watch the rest of them, rest of this stream. And also there's some other good ones getting about. I quite enjoy Presumption of Innocence as well. That's actually got Jim Griffin on it. It's not too bad. Anyone else got any online? What do you like to watch?
Oh,
I like your recommendations.
True.
If you've got any, what's that, Mads?
No, that was Old Line Red.
A prosecutor should be mad as hell too. Hang on. Put that up. Yeah. There's no reason why it should just be defense lawyers who are mad about this. Prosecutors should be mad about this.
They were exhausted.
Everybody should be mad about this. Citizens should be mad about this, right? And they shouldn't be mad about this for Becky's sake.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is not poor Becky. We should not all be crying over poor Becky right now. right? We should be crying about the justice system and the fact that this potentially could happen, that could have happened, right? If these allegations are true, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Right? This is just, it's egregious.
Exactly.
It's egregious. I'm shocked and chagrined. And yeah, and if this trial has to happen again, my goodness, like how much? How, okay, not just the money, because I mean, how much did this cost?
Oh, the taxpayers?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, $1 million at least. At least.
At least.
I mean,
but not
they
just that.
Put up the prosecutors at a hotel, nice hotel, the defense at a nice
right,
hotel.
They did too. Yeah. But okay, not just that, the families, right? The people who had to deal with hearing all that disgusting testimony and about all the brains being blown out and all that kind of stuff. It was horrific. Right. Oh, just before we go though, because this is Excited Utterances channel and I like to talk about what people are talking about, Sal, could you please bring up the comments on this stream? Go on. Let's have a look.
Okay. If I can.
Anyone in chat who is not subscribed to Sal absolutely should be.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time today, Sal.
Of course. Let's see if I can find it. God damn it. What the hell?
You're very zoomed in.
I know. Creepy.
It is creepy.
Alex,
Oh, okay. Look at some insight from the area. I was here for many years. No.
For Dallas County.
Oh, okay. I was for many years a chief deputy clerk with Dallas County. The criminal justice court system, 1,000 cases have been tried. Never once did I engage or have any conversations with any jurors about any cases. There have been many high-profile cases in Dallas and not on. Hang on, what does it say?
I don't know. Doesn't show up.
Okay, they just didn't finish it. Yeah. You said right, everything. Okay, no. Here we go. No one should jump to conclusions about this until both sides are heard and resolved.
Oh, now opinion. You want that?
Yes. Well, who knows what this person was? This is why a court clerk should be writing a book. Yeah, hell yeah. It's important we understand the power of suggestion. People can be manipulated, some more easily than others, depending on all sorts of personal experience, etc. Please get an expert psychologist on your panel to explain this. Yeah, let's get Dr. G, shall we?
Yeah.
Shall we? I love how meaningful communication is the solvent of problems. Solvent? Solvent is it's like a paint thinner, isn't it?
Yeah.
And foundational development. Good job. I wouldn't underestimate anything could. Here we go. You can read this one.
I wouldn't understand anything Putin Griffin would pull to give their grifter-in-chief a way out. After seeing the trial, learning about the underhanded payback against the people in this area, donate $10,000 to avoid driving infractions. Someone's got to those jurors. Jesus Christ.
I listened to one of the lawyers who read the book. He said it was nothing more than a self-aggrandizing gossip book, which was what angered some of the jurors to the point of wanting to come forward. Hey, that's what I was saying before.
Yeah.
So they saw the book. They were like, okay, Miss Hill, you've just gone too damn far. And it's those what's his name? Harpootlian and Griffin. You know what? Maybe I will return the call now.
Yeah. So.
Scratch. Yeah. Oh, anyway. Can you just look at the replies? Can you grab the replies out of there?
Oh, wrong one.
Really? Wow, I heard a journalist say self-grandizing. I was surprised. It is a trial from her perspective. Having not read it, it is making her seem all important, or is it the trial from her point of view only, I wonder? You can read that.
She seemed to make herself the 13th juror. When describing the juror or jury, she would often say we, as if she was one of them.
True.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, the book what? The book just shows how close she was with the jury. Some lawyers have called it inappropriate, but the jury tampering is in the sworn affidavits, which looks to be true. If so, she's going to jail, and AM is getting a new trial. That's so wild. At least the new trial will cost him money and give people something to watch, I guess, if it gets retried.
Yeah, sweetie,
okay.
That's your money that it's going to cost, not his.
Yeah,
he doesn't have much money anymore.
Is that even the case? Like, even if the person has money, do they have to pay for the trial?
Not the trial. They have to pay for their lawyer.
Yeah, that's it.
But not, I mean, if they're convicted, then a lot of the fees they pay goes to the court.
Yeah, there's court fees. There's some fees. No. But not everything. No. Yeah. All right. Sounds bedtime. And
I'm going to stay up, but
yeah.
But
that was super fun. That was super fun. Hopefully we don't get in lots of trouble for that.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Yes.
So, I'm going to figure out a stream tomorrow. Maybe do more Jensen. Maybe just a few pages. And then some more testimony. I will get with EU and figure out a time.
Yeah. We've got more documents.
Yes, we do.
More documents.
And I'll kind of tease them out a little bit, I think. Kind of make a bit out of it.
I think there's no choice, isn't there? Like, how many pages have you got? 50?
80.
80? Well, we're not going to get through those in one stream.
And I kind of want to go slow with them and kind of like spread it out to get some more donations because I had to spend 100 for this. So
go slow.
Yeah, slow and steady.
Yeah, go slow. Sweet. That sounds awesome. Cool. And that's actually good because I need to go and dance and DJ tonight. And I need to get some sleep after that at some point. So yeah, all the stuff is happening. So it's Jensen Day tomorrow.
Yes.
And everyone have a lovely, what's today? Friday for you guys.
Yep.
It's only Friday for you. Wow.
Yeah.
It's Saturday morning for me. So yeah, it's a big day. I'm performing tonight too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah, good fun. All right. Thank you everyone for turning up.
Yes.
That was super fun. What the BECK?
Yes.
What the BECK? Keep your eyes open for part 3 of this, which will be BECK in Hell, probably. Yep. And make sure that you are subscribed to the MLS network, that you're a member of the MLS network. Thank you, Fed.
Yes.
And that if you're a member of the MLS network, then you will be on the Discord, and then you will have live alerts to all of the channels, the content creators that are part of that network. And that includes Sal, includes Mo, includes Baker, Lefty, Farrell, Nick, just everybody, all the good people. All the good people.
MG Law, people like
MG
that.
MG Law's here. I can't even start listing everybody. It will take all day, and we're trying to end the stream. But be part of it, everybody. And I wish someone in chat, one of you wonderful mods, could you please pop up the link to the membership page of MLS Network, Making Law Simple Network. That one. Thank you. All right, everyone have a great day.
Bye.
Bye. What the BECK?